This is what the average casual TF2 experience looks like. You join a server after queuing for a while. There's a couple of bots on the server. They call a vote instantly on a real player. You wait for the vote to fail. You call a vote on the bot. You wait for the vote to pass. And then you repeat this for however many bots are on your team, typically 1 to 3. When that's done, you can finally try to play the game. And then you get killed by the bot that the enemy team hasn't kicked yet. As I was getting footage for this, I found a new type of bot that just idles in servers without ever spawning and is somehow unkickable. You can't even access their Steam profile through the right-click menu on the scoreboard, and one of them didn't even show up in the in-game report menu. I lost the footage for it, but these two idle bots stayed on the server after the game ended, and I ended up in the same team as them. That's when I tried to kick them, and it wouldn't work. Whenever I clicked the call vote button, the window just closed, but no vote actually started. This just goes to show that not only is the game in a terrible state as is, it's very possible that Valve casual servers could get entirely filled up with idle bots at any time, making it literally unplayable. 2 years ago, the TF2 community banded together to cry for help. The result was one tweet, and a couple of minor band-aid solutions on the gaping flesh wound that is the bot crisis. After that, it was back to business as usual at Valve, leaving the game to rot away while they waste their time working on some Smite knockoff and making an inferior Source 2 port of CSGO. Sure, we got a part-time contractor working on the game, implementing bug fixes every few months or so, which is better than the potted plant that we had before, but the main problem that the game is facing is still unsolved. From this point forward, the footage in the background is a recording of me trying to play last year's summer update, queuing and re-queuing for about 20 minutes to find a server that I can actually play on. Trying to find a server that wasn't just filled with 90% bots at any time outside of peak hours was also completely impossible. I recall queuing constantly around 3 AM and just getting the same bot-infested servers over and over and over again. This is very obviously not an acceptable state for the game to be in. I can't imagine the disappointment of someone who's new to the game, who has seen some funny Gmod animations or whatever, decided to check out the game and is met with this kind of experience. I wouldn't fault them for never touching the game ever again. What then should be done, or rather could realistically be done, to fix this? Well, first of all, we know Valve won't keep VAC up to date, so anyone using botting programs won't actually get banned through the program's signature. It also seems that Valve doesn't want to port over the work they did on CSGO and now CS2. If it was an easy task to do, they would have done so already. Also, it wouldn't work, since the Overwatch system could likely be abused by bots, and while Trust Factor might help somewhat against sniper bots, it won't do anything about idle bots such as the new ones I saw, or just something like the engineer bots from the summer update. So what then can Valve do? To me, the natural answer is to do what they've done with just about every other aspect of TF2's maintenance. Just leave it to the community. The reason being that unlike Valve servers, community servers actually have the ability to be moderated. You can actually have a server administrator that can ban known bot accounts. The server can also have vote ban enabled, making it quick and easy to ban new bots and cheaters. Of course, vote bans can be used against legitimate players, but with a server administrator you can always appeal to get unbanned. Simply showing a decent looking public Steam profile is enough proof that you're not a bot at the very least. But how would this system even work, you may ask? It's simple. We had the perfect system for this before Meet Your Match. It was called quickplay. Essentially what I'm suggesting is to gut the current matchmaking system and make it function like the old quickplay system did. What this does is that it directs players to any public server that fulfills the requirements of what would be considered a vanilla TF2 experience. Requirements such as having a 24-player limit, random crits enabled, random bullet spread enabled, and no class limits. Essentially the same settings that Valve servers currently use. Other requirements did or should include no wacky sourcemod plugins, no annoying MOTD ads or always on-screen watermarks, and no donator perks. I do, however, believe that some sourcemod plugins should be allowed, specifically ones that make moderation easier. I would like to see some sort of whitelist for such plugins. Finally, all Valve needs to do is contact big server hosters such as Skial, Uncle Dane, etc. to coordinate with them so they can set up servers that meet these requirements. There are also other benefits of returning to the old quickplay system, such as being able to switch teams whenever there's an open slot, being able to vote for any map in the map rotation rather than just the same map or 2 random choices from the map rotation, being able to join servers ad hoc from the server browser or your friends in the Steam interface if they re-enable that. Joining a friend's server through the party feature could also be made a lot smoother by just letting you join as soon as a slot is open. Also, using the community servers allows people to blacklist servers they don't like, such as ones with bad moderation, something that this new matchmaking system should be able to take into account. The only reason for Valve to not do this, aside from having to put a slight bit of work into the game, is sunk cost. The only reason casual mode works the way it does today is that they made it to be a casual equivalent of the competitive mode. That's the only reason ad hoc joining isn't allowed. It's why you're not allowed to switch teams freely and why games end when one team has won 3 times or whatever. It's all in service to being a diet competitive mode, but if you ask anyone who's played on reasonably vanilla community servers or played the game pre-Meet Your Match, I think all of them would say that the Valve casual experience is worse for all of these reasons. No one ever asked for diet competitive, and no one would miss it if it was reverted to the old quickplay Valve servers today. Of course, the whole point of doing this would be to remove unmoderated Valve servers in favor of moderated vanilla community servers. Finally, on top of this, make it harder for bot hosters to create new Steam accounts. Fix the exploits they're using to generate accounts, use better CAPTCHA systems, and limit the number of accounts that can be created from a single IP in a short time span. This solution won't make much of a difference if bot hosters can simply make hundreds of new accounts the moment the old ones get banned. In addition, to support this, it would be nice to see the server browser get updated. Make it look a bit nicer and make the search function smarter. For an example, if I search payload, I should get every server running a payload map or that has payload in the server name or tags. In summary, make matchmaking work the way quickplay did. Replace unmoderated Valve servers with moderated community servers, and make it harder to create hundreds of new Steam accounts at once. This is how we fix TF2.